Okay, now, so this is the process of the media planning. Select the media, define the space of time that you need, define the frequency, and get the maximum efficiency or effectiveness of your plan. To do this, we need to know the advertising media, and we need to know how to plan and buy these spaces. So to effectively planning media, we have to know these things. First of all, the potential reach of our target audience. So how do I choose the right media? Which is the media that reach my target group? I need to know. And who tells me that? Which are the surveys that measure the audience of the media? So I need to know how audience is measured and if these surveys are reliable. And also, I need to know the expressive capability of the media. Is it the right media to tell my story? Maybe I need movement, or I need a beautiful image, or I need only text. So which is the expressive capability of each media? If there are any technical constraints, for example, I want to go on air tomorrow, and I want to plan billboards. And I cannot, because to plan billboards, I have to follow a calendar with specific date. So this is a technical constraint I need to know. And last, of course, but not least, the cost. How much is the cost of each vehicles, and who sells the media that I want to buy? So you need to know all these things. But there is a thing that is the most important. You need to know the potential reach of the media of your target audience. And how can we translate this capability? I mean, which is our currency? If you go to the market and if you want to buy apples, you buy apples by kilos. Okay, I want 1 kilo of apples. Now, which are our currency? If we want some advertising pressure, how do I measure this advertising pressure? How do I measure the reach of my target audience? So let's see our currency. Let's see our key planning metrics. Now, I will ask very stupid questions. So from now on, take notes with a pen and piece of paper and pay attention, because I want you to understand the meaning of these metrics, not to learn the formula by heart and you forget and you don't understand. So take notes, because there is a quiz regarding these metrics in 1 hour, about 1 hour and a half, and you can win the extra point. Okay. Now, everything, when we want to plan an advertising campaign, of course, we want to reach a specific target group. Okay. We don't care about the others. In this example, I have a target group made of these people. This is my target group. So how many people there are in my target group? Ciao. 6. Very well. I have 6 people in my target group: the farmer, the businessman, the woman, and so on. Then, now let's imagine to plan a TV campaign. So I want to make a campaign on TV, and I buy 1 commercial. And this commercial is seen by 3 people in my target group. So how do I call these arrows here? You know the technical names, which could be, I'll tell you. Impressions? Yes, impressions. We call them impressions or contacts. Very well. Now I buy another commercial because I want to reach a larger part of the population, so my target group. So I buy another commercial. This second commercial is seen by the woman and the painter. So now, if I ask you, how many impressions do I have? 5, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5. Okay, now remember, this is at the base of all our metrics. We need to distinguish between the people that we reach, the heads, and we have 3 heads in my target group, and I call them net contacts, right? Net contacts are the equal heads. The arrows, which are the sum of the audience in target group, the arrows, I call them gross impressions. Okay, so arrows equal gross impressions, the audience in my target group. How many gross impressions do I have? 5. How many net contacts do I have? 3. Very well. Which is the number of people in my target group? 6. Very well. Now, of course, when I plan one commercial, one ad, the arrows are equal to the heads, and so net contacts and gross impressions are the same. Is that okay? So when I plan once, the arrows and the heads, of course, are the same number. Remember this. Now, these are the basic metrics: net contacts, gross impressions. Okay, remember, net contacts are the heads, gross impressions are the arrows. Okay, now the first important metrics, the most important thing of my plan to reach my target audience. Okay, now what's the reach? Reach is also called penetration or coverage. You can find different names, but the meaning is the same. It's like putting a coverage on my target group, okay? And you could express reach as a number, and when I express reach as the number of people in my target group who have seen the message, reach is equal to what? When is a number, the reach expressing number is equal to net contacts, okay? But we usually express percentage as a percentage, reach as a percentage, because we want to know which is the percentage of our target group that we have reached. So one is having 90% of my target group that I reach with my campaign, and another thing is I have 10%. So it's better to know the percentage of the reach. Now, the higher the reach, the better. So ideally, I would like to cover all my target group with a message. Okay, you are all my target group, so I want to reach you all. Which is the maximum number that I can get with the reach as a percentage? 100%. Okay, ideally, I would love 100% of reach. It's very difficult, it's very expensive, but the higher the reach, the better. Now, I have the same plan. This time, I added another commercial, and it is watched only by the woman. She's always in front of TV. So this time, look at the plan. How many people are in my target group? 6. How many gross impressions? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. How many net contacts? 3. Now, only look at the picture. Which is the percentage of reach of my media plan? 50%. It's clear for all because I have reached 3 people, I had to reach 6, so it's half. Okay, 50%. Now, let's think about the formula of the reach. What did you do to calculate this 50%? What did you do? Please.
And it's just 100%, and look how many people watched it, and it's like 3 out of 6. So it's
3 what?
3 out of 6.
3 out of 6, but let's talk with the terms that we have just learned. 3.
Net contact.
Right, very good. Look at your notes. Repeat, repeat, repeat. 3 net contacts divided
Like the target audience.
the target audience, 6 people in my target audience. But you have done another thing, because 3 divided by 6, which is the result? 0.5. Oh, do it, 0.5. So to get this 50%, what did you do? Multiply times 100. Remember, this percentage, the symbol of percentage means divided by 100. So you have to multiply by 100 to get the percentage. So remember, this is how you calculate reach. The heads, net contacts, divided by the number of people you add to reach, the number of people in your target group, and then times 100. It's very important, okay? So write down. Okay. Now, the reach is the most important of our KPI. One vehicle, my media vehicles must get as much reach as possible. Now, rating points. Rating points are used in US, especially in US, not in Italy. In Italy, we don't use very much rating point, but the concept is very easy. 1 rating point is equal to 1 percentage of reach. Okay, if I say I have my plan at 50% reach, how many rating points? 50. My media vehicles get 2% of reach. How many rating points? 2, okay? It's the same thing. Very well, let's go on. Now the second very important metrics for my plan is frequency. Frequency, the repetition. If the reach is the net percentage of the target universe that is reached 1 or more time by a medium, remember, it's the head. I can reach many times my head. Frequency is the average number of times those persons are reached. Is how many times my target audience, the people who had the opportunity to see the message, so the people that were reached by my message, how many times they could watch my message. The people who saw the message is equal to what? What's the term that describes the people who saw the message? Net contacts, the heads. Okay, so the frequency is how many times the net contacts saw the message. Simple as that. Why do we need the frequency? Because we want that. We want our message to be remembered. It's like studying. If you repeat, if you repeat, if you repeat, you learn. Remember when we have talked about awareness, we need to repeat the message to create awareness. So, do you think that the higher the frequency, the better? Yes? Everyone, yes? It depends. It depends to a certain point. Exactly, to a certain point. Because in this case, the answer is no. The higher the frequency, better? No, absolutely not. For 2 reasons. Come on, which is the first reason that comes to your mind? People get annoyed. Okay, so I repeat, I understood. Okay, people get annoyed. And the other reason is?
It's expensive.
Exactly. It's expensive. And when I plan the campaign, every time I buy 1 commercial on TV, I spend maybe 100,000 euro every time. So it's better not annoying people and spend too much time, too much money. So this is, we have the so-called wear-out effect. If you do too much frequency, people get annoyed, and this is the theory. Okay, so after a while, but in my experience, after long time, after a very big number of frequency, people start getting annoyed. And I was curious because it's very important to understand which is the optimal frequency level, because it's expensive. You think about the money more than annoying people when you buy advertisement. And we made this neuromarketing research for a team long time ago, and we wanted to discover which was the right frequency, after which level people began to get annoyed. And we discovered one terrible thing. The commercial was aimed to non-team clients, so not clients, not team clients, and we want to propose a special offer. Come to team, and then we give you a special offer, special discounts. So we discovered this. The team client immediately recognized the commercial, and the brain was immediately aroused after only few level of frequency, 5 frequencies. But non-team clients, that was our target group, was still interested after 22 repetition of the commercial. So you see, the higher the better, no, but you need to repeat the message a lot. So don't think that 3 is enough. Of course, in a certain length of time. So how can we choose the right frequency? Now I will try to do this. Let's hope that it doesn't interrupt. So the optimal level of frequency depends on many factors. Depends on your target group, depends on your message, depends on the products that you're advertising, depends on the competitors, on the media. So I'll tell you some examples. If I have to launch a new product or service, okay, new to in the market, what do you think? Do I need more frequency or less frequency? More frequency, exactly, because people don't know it. So I have to repeat so that it is noticed and remembered. So more frequency. If I am launching a very interesting product for my target audience, they were expecting it. Less, of course. I recognize, oh, these are interesting. I don't need to repeat many times, okay? So in this case, I can use less frequency. If there is a new advertising campaign, so I change the format, I change the celebrity, I change the music, what do I need? More or less frequency? More. Very well. Everything that's new needs more frequency. Then, if I have a very impactful creativity, something shocking, less. And this could be a problem. Think about some creativity made by a non-profit organization or for some causes that represent crashes or things that are really terrible to watch. You see once the message and that's enough. But if you want to create awareness, you need the frequency. So sometimes beware of having a creativity that could be shocking. You always want your target audience love to see your message. Otherwise, it could be a problem for the memorization. So yes, you need less frequency, but remember that you do little frequency could be a problem for the memorization of the brand. If your target is young, quick to grab messages, compared to old people, less frequency. Of course, if you have to sell something to older people, maybe you have to repeat more the message. If I use cluttered media like TV, radio, the internet, do I use more frequency or less frequency? More, yes, because there is a lot of noise, and so you need to repeat. the message a lot. So let's talk about average frequency, the average number of times that the target group is reached by my message. Now we have the same time, the same plan that we have seen so far. Do you remember which is the reach of this plan? 50%. Now, only look at the picture. Look at the picture. In your opinion, which is the average frequency? So I have the farmer who saw the message once. The
Professor,
woman 2 times. Please?
Sorry, the slides don't change for us online.
You don't see okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am okay. I can do it again. When I go full screen, there is this problem. Okay, now you see. Now, so the woman saw the message 3 times and the painter twice. Which is the average frequency? 2. 1, 3, 2. The average is 2. Yes, bravo Urania, very well. And now let's think about how to calculate average frequency with the terms that we know. So what did you do to calculate 2 as average frequency? Gross impressions over net contacts. Exactly. It's clear for all. The arrows divided by the people who saw the arrows, the messages, the campaign. So the arrows are gross impressions divided by the heads in my target group, and so divided by the net contacts. It's clear for all? Yes? Very well. Very simple. So gross impressions divided net contact. And here we don't have to multiply by nothing. 6 divided by 3, 2. Very well. Now let's try with some example. I have a target audience of 100 people. I made a plan and I got 400 gross impressions, and people who saw the message are 50. Which is the average frequency? 8. Okay, it's clear for all? Very well. Average frequency 8. So 400, this is, the primary school, I think, if you are here at the university. So when you have to do this kind of divisions, take away the 0. So it's 40 divided by 5. So you use the 5, 10, 50. Okay. Now, then 100 people in my target group, 400 gross impression, people who saw the message 50, which is the reach? 50%. In this case, 50 is okay, because as a number, you remember, if I express reach as a number, I simply counting my net contacts, okay? Reach as a number equal net contacts. But reach percentage, 50%. Remember, there are 2 different things depending on the target group. Because if I have 1 million people in my target group, say that I have a reach of 50, is 50 people. 50% is 500, okay? Very well, very well, very well. Now, 400 people in my target group, 400. And gross impressions, 400. The people who saw the message, 50. Which is the average frequency? 8. It's the same as before. Who cares about the target group? I need gross impressions and net contacts. Okay, very well. Now, I have my plan. 100 net contacts. I made 400 gross impressions. And my target audience is made of 500 people. Which is the average frequency? 4. This is easy, very well. Wonderful. Now, the same plan. Which is the reach? It's more difficult here.
20%.
Yeah. You have to divide the net contacts divided by the target audience times 100. Okay, 1 divided by 5 times 100. Okay. Now, pay attention because this is more sophisticated, simple, but more sophisticated. Let's talk about effective frequency. Effective frequency, pay attention, is the minimum number of exposures within a purchase cycle considered necessary to motivate the average prospect in the target audience to accomplish an advertising objective. So it's the minimum level of exposure which I define as effective. So if I want my message to be remembered, is not a new message. It's a very interesting product. My target audience is young. So I say that the effective level of frequency is 5. Okay. So this is my effective frequency. And once I have defined the effective frequency 5 times, you have to see the message 5 times so that you can remember it. The effective reach is defined as the number or percentage of a particular target population that is exposed at least that number of times. So the effective reach is 50%. 50% have seen the message at least 5 times. Okay, so, and we express this concept with indicating the percentage of the effective reach and the number of the effective frequency with a plus. So 50% effective reach, 3 plus. So 50% of my target group has seen the message at least 3 times, maybe 4, 5, 6, but at least 3. Now, how can I calculate this? I need to use the exposure distribution. So I need to know how many people saw the message, had the opportunity to see that message at least once, at least twice, at least the 3rd time, and so on. So, and we can get this data from the planning softwares. Now, in my example here, let's calculate the exposure distribution. So 3 out of 6 people, so the painter, the woman, and the farmer, 3 out of 6, saw the message at least once. The farmer saw it once, the woman 3, and the painter 2. So 3 out of 6 at least once. So 50% at least of my target group at least saw the message one time. 2 people, the farmer and the woman, at least saw the message twice, because the painter 2 and the woman 3. And so 2 out of 6 means 33% of my target audience at least saw the message twice. And only the woman, 1 out of 6, saw the message 3 times. So 70% of my target group saw the message at least 3 times. And so the effective frequency 2, if I say that in this plan, the effective frequency is 2, I simply look at the percentage, how many people saw the message at least 2, 33%. Now, let's look at real data. So this is an exposure distribution for a radio campaign, a real radio campaign. And you see the effective reach with cumulative values. So at least people who have the opportunity to listen to this radio plan at least 1 time, I listened to the radio commercial at one time, is 68.5. At least twice, 58%. At least 3 times, 49%. So I define the level of frequency, which I think is optimal, and I calculate the effective reach. So in this case, if I say that at least during this planning, the effective frequency is 4, I simply look at the distribution and I find out that at least 4, I have a effective reach of 41.3. Okay, this concept is very important because average frequency is an average, but sometimes you want to know which is the percentage of a target group who had the opportunity to see your message at least a certain number of times, okay, because once is not enough. So it's important that you know also this concept. And now we arrive at the most important metric of advertising planning, our kilos. And it is called GRPs, gross rating points, also TRPs, target rating points, they are synonyms, okay? This is our kilos. We buy advertising by GRPs. Now, what are GRPs? The GRPs are defined as the unit of the advertising pressure. And they are the result, literally, of reach and frequency. You multiply them, okay? So reach times 100, because you have to take away the symbol of the percentage, times average frequency, and you have the GRPs. The GRPs are an abstract concept, okay? And inside these GRPs, there is the reach and the frequency. So let's calculate the reach of our media plan. We calculate the reach is 50%. We take away the symbol of the percentage by multiplying times 100, so 50 times average frequency, which is 2. 50 times 2 is 100. So this media plan got us 100 GRPs. They are, what are they? They are abstract. They are reach and frequency together. And so if you see the same concept, because of course you calculate GRPs on your target group, so target rating group, target rating point or gross rating points are equal, the same thing. So if GRPs are reach times average frequency, when the average frequency is 1, GRPs are equal to what? The reach without the percentage, the rating points. Because remember, 50% reach, how many rating points? 50. In fact, this is called gross rating points. Okay, so when the frequency is 1 for each vehicles, GRPs are equal to reach without the percentage, which is equal to the rating points. Very well. So let's make an example. I have a target audience of 100 people. I buy an advertisement on a newspaper that is read by 20 people in my target audience. Which is the reach? Come on, 20 out of 100. 20%, okay? It's clear for all. If you have a calculator or a form, do it. If you, okay, 20%. 20 out of 100 is 20%. Okay, how many GRPs do I get? Shout, 20, because I buy one advertising. The GRPs are equal to the reach without the percentage, so 20. Okay, is that clear? Every time, every vehicles, if I go one frequency, GRPs are equal to reach without the percentage. Now, there is another way to calculate GRPs, which is the same thing as reach times frequency. And it's a very easy way to calculate GRPs. We use only gross impressions and the target group, the arrows and the target group. And the formula is, write down, gross impressions times 100 divided by the target group. So in this case, gross impression, how many gross impressions do we have? Don't read. How many gross impression in this plan? How many arrows? 6. 6 times 100, 600. Divided by 6 is 100. Is the same. Why it is the same? Because gross impressions are equal to net contact times average frequency. You remember, average frequency is gross impressions divided net contact. So it's the same thing. So, but net contacts divided by the target group times 100 is the reach. So you see, these two ways of calculating GRPs are similar, are the same, but with gross impressions, it's easier sometimes because maybe I don't have the reach, I don't have the average frequency, but I have the audience in target. So I have the audience, I have the target group, easy to calculate GRPs. And there is another way, very easy to calculate GRPs. So there are 3 ways: reach times 100 to take away the percentage times average frequency, gross impressions times 100 divided by the target group. And the other easy way is to sum up all the rating points of the media that we buy. So, for example, again, in our media plan, the first media vehicle, the first commercial, reached 50% of my target group. 3 out of 6 is 50%, so 50 rating points. The second commercial was seen by the woman and the painter, and so it reached 2 out of 6. It means about 33 reach, 33% reach, equal 33 rating points. The third commercial was seen only by the woman, 1 out of 6, about 17% of reach, means 17 rating points. I add up all these rating points and I get my 100 GRPs. So it's the same thing. That's why it is called gross rating points. We simply add the reach without the percentage of all the media that we plan. Simply as that. Okay, very, very easy. Now, but remember, GRPs are not equal to reach. Sometimes I read something that reach could be maximum 100%. You could have thousands of GRPs, hundreds of thousands of GRPs, because you have, okay? So, and you don't express GRPs as a percentage. They are number, like frequency. Frequency and GRPs are number, not percentages. So let's see if you understood. I have a target audience of 200 people. Yes.
But GRP is a reach without percentage, right?
Reach without percentage times average frequency. Okay, so for example, in our plan here, reach is 50% times 100. It means 50 times 2, which is the average frequency. Okay. Okay. So now, but we'll make lots of example and practice. Don't worry, because I'm so fixed about you understanding the meaning. Because this is the trick. You need to get your target group. You need to have the highest reach possible. You need to repeat the message. If you plan radio, TV, the internet, social media, the same concepts are valid for all the plan. Now, I have a target audience of 200 people, 200. And I made an advertising on La Repubblica, which is a newspaper, and it's read by 20 people in my target group. Which is the reach? 10%. Very good. How many GRPs do I get? 10. Is that clear? GRPs are reached without the percentage every time I go out. Okay, one advertising. Very well. Now, let's make it more complex, realistic. So, I have a target audience of 100 people. I made one ad on Il Messaggero that is read by 10 people in my target group. Which is the reach of the Messaggero? 10%. And I made another advertising on Corriere della Sera that is read by 20 people in my target group. Which is the reach of Corriere della Sera? 20%. Clear for all? Well, now I ask you, which is the reach of my plan? 30?
You can't know.
You can't know. Exactly. Why can't you know?
Because you don't know if it was seen by the state.
Exactly. You don't know the duplication of readership. Exactly. Compliments. You cannot know. Which is the minimum? Okay. I repeat again, maybe because you don't know if the people who reads the Corriere della Sera also have read the Messaggero. You don't know the duplication. If Stella Romagnoli every morning reads Messaggero and Corriere della Sera, which is the minimum reach that I get with this media plan? Minimum 20%. Remember also percent. Don't say, never say reach without the percentage if I ask the percentage, okay? 20%. Is that clear for all? I don't think so. Because this is a typical mistake, is a bias. The minimum 10. No, because at the minimum, if all the people that read the Messaggero also read the Corriere della Sera, at least I have the reach of Corriere della Sera, which is 20%. If otherwise, all the people that read the Messaggero are different from the people that read Corriere della Sera, I have 10% plus 30%, 20%, 30%. Maximum 30%, minimum 20%. Is that clear? Okay. So, yes. Now, I ask you, how many GRPs do I get with this plan? So, the reach you don't know. And the GRPs? 30. Yes, exactly. You simply add the rating points of each medium, or you do the gross impressions that are 10 plus 20, and so easy. Okay, plus times 100 divided 100, and you get 30. So how do we calculate net contacts? If I said I don't know the duplication, but is there a way to know the duplication of readership? Yes, it is a way to estimate this duplication using specific softwares. So media agencies, that are agencies specialized in media strategy, planning, and buying, use these softwares. These are some names, Kubik, Supernova, that elaborate data from media audience surveys and calculate the exposure duplication. So what do? We'll see in a little while. They ask, for example, Stella Romagnoli, before they make the interview. Stella Romagnoli, yes, tell me your age, your gender, your education. Yesterday, did you read the Messaggero Corriere? And so they get this data, and they know if Stella Romagnoli read Messaggero and Corriere della Sera. Okay, and so they get this data. How do they work? First of all, you define your target group using demographic or geographical characteristics, depending on the survey, but they use almost the same data. And then the software tells, okay, you want to reach, for example, men that are living in Rome from 25 to 64 years old, of social media class, medium to upper class. Okay, this is a target group made by 1 million people, 1,085,000 people. Okay, they tell me the number of my target group, and then they make a ranking of all the vehicles, the media that I want to plan. For example, in this case, newspapers. They make a ranking of the audiences of the newspapers in target group, not all the readers, only the male from 25 to 64 years old that live in Rome. And so they tell me, for example, that Il Messaggero as a cover in this case is number. So when it's number, they are the net contacts. Very well. And you see also coverage as a percentage. And this is the percentage of reach. So in this case, in Messaggero has a reach of my target group of 20%, 20.8. And then you see the TRPs, which is the same number of the reach, Notice, so the TRPs, the GRPs are 20.8. Okay, so, and they give me this number. So then I see the audience in my target group, I choose the media, I choose the times I want to plan each media, and the softwares. This is another example for TV, but it's the same thing. There are all these ranked by GRPs, and I choose the vehicles I want to plan, and the softwares estimate the duplication. So not only I get the TRPs, I could calculate TRPs myself with gross impressions, I could do it. But they tell me also the percentage of reach, in this case, with this media plan is almost 60%, and the average frequency. So we need to use this kind of softwares that you have to pay for using them. But you can calculate GRPs by your own, so it's very easy. And GRPs are the most important metrics in advertising planning, together with the budget. TV planning, we see, is measuring GRPs. You buy GRPs for TV, for radio. You estimate the pressure of your competitors using GRPs. You understand if their advertising pressure, and you calculate your share of voice in GRPs. Okay, it's the same thing. And also, you can use GRPs also to plan social media and internet, because it's very important to understand these metrics, and not only impressions, as we will see in a little while. Now, let's make some practice. So let's recap. So let's go to Mentimeter, and let's see if everything is clear for everyone. Take your notes. It's important that you take the notes with you. Take your phone and then recap. I want the concept to be really clear for everyone. Okay, so the code is 47265433. Everyone, please participate, everyone, because it's completely anonymous, and then you make practice. So I want to explain if there is some mistakes. It's better for me to know. 47265433. Okay, let's recap. Very well, come on, everyone on board. 47265433. Okay, now, with 30 net contacts and a target audience of 100, what is the reach? Use your own brain, don't copy the other. Think about, because in a little while you will do, of course, a count contest, and then there will be a more important count contest after an hour. Okay, try. 30 net contacts and a target audience of 100. Okay, we have the majority of you said 30%, but I want to explain why it is not, for example, 0.3 or 3. Remember the way of calculating reach as a percentage. Net contacts divided by the target groups times 100. Don't forget to multiply by 100, otherwise it's 0.3. Okay. So 30 times 100 divided by 100, 30%. Okay, remember, write it down. Very well. With 200 GRPs means that we surely have a reach of 100% and a frequency of 2. If my plan gets 200 GRPs, surely I have a reach of 100 and an average frequency of 2. Is it true or is it false? The keyword is surely. With 200 GRPs, lots of GRPs, surely I have a reach of 100. The correct answer is false. Why? remember, these GRPs contains reach and frequency. You don't know which is the frequency and which is the reach. It could be 100 reach and 2 as a frequency, but it could be also 50% reach and what frequency? 4. It could be 25 reach. What frequency? 25% reach. Double of 4. 8. And so on. Okay. It could be also 1% reach and all the rest is frequency. You don't know. Okay? You don't know for sure. You don't have the data. If I want a reach of 70% of my target group with an average frequency of 4, how many GRPs do I need to buy? This is the way we plan TV. I want to reach 70% of my target audience and an average frequency of 4. How many GRPs? Come on, use your own brains. Use your own brains. Remember, the first formula of calculating GRPs is reach, percentage of reach, times 100, because you have to take away that percentage, which that means divided by 100, times average frequency. So, the correct answer is 280. Why? You have to simply do this. 70 times 4. That's it. Because when you multiply times 100, you are taking away the symbol, which means divided by 100. So how do you calculate this? Simply not considering the percentage symbol. 70 times 4. So 280. Very well. Okay, this is the explanation. Now, I want to reach 100% of my target audience with an average frequency of 4. How many GRPs do I need to buy? Okay. So remember, I consider only 100. 100% times 100 means 100. 100 times 4, it means 400. Okay? GRPs is reach, percentage of reach, times 100 to take away the this percentage, times average frequency. The correct answer is 400. Now, again, let's see if you understood. I want to reach 80% of my target audience with an average frequency of 10. What do? 80 times 10. You add the 0 and you have 800. Don't do 80% times 10. Don't do 80% times 10. Because if you use the percentage, you need to multiply times 100. Consider 80. Okay, 80 times 10. 800. Very well. My media plan got 400 gross impressions, the arrows, on a target audience of 100. How many GRPs? Very good. Exactly. You don't know. Because what do you need to calculate average frequency? And you don't have the data here. Can you shout? Net contacts. Okay? And here you define net contacts. You have the gross impressions and the target audience. You need to know the people who saw the message. You don't know. I plan 2 media. One as a reach of 30% of my target group. The other media as a reach of 20%. How many GRPs do I get? How many GRPs do I get? I plan 2 media. One media has 30% reach. How many GRPs? And the other is 20% reach. How many GRPs? And yes, the correct answer is 50. Remember, You don't express GRPs as a percentage. Never. Only reach is expressed as a percentage. GRPs are numbers. Write down in your notes. Very well, very well, very well, very well. We are talking about some metrics related to media buying, offline media buying especially, because we must distinguish between online and offline media. Sometimes with offline media, almost offline, all offline media, and with some online media, display advertising online, we have a rate card. And we make a negotiation with the sale houses to get a discount. With other online media, there is no negotiation. There is an auction. It means the price is set by an auction. And this happens with almost all online advertisements, Google Ads, social networks, programmatic advertising. We will talk about them next week. So how do we buy offline media, at least in Italy? We have a rate card, the rate card list price, then we make a negotiation. In Italy, all the companies have different discounts, and the sum that you pay is a sensitive data. Nobody will ever tell you the net price, okay? The discounts they get from the sale houses, they're secret data. So you negotiate for a discount, you get the discount, and then rate card minus the discount is a so-called net price. But you don't pay the net price. You pay the net price. Seems ridiculous, but it is so. So what the sales house tells you this, okay, you give me 100,000 euro to pay my media, and I give you back 15% as a percentage. So 15,000, I give you back this amount to pay your creative agency, to pay the production for the content. So you give me the money to buy the media, and I gave you back the agency commission. Historically, it was 15%. Now companies take the 50% and pay much less the agencies, okay? So we have the net price and the net price. Okay, now remember, net price is the price calculated after the negotiation. Rate card minus discount. The net price is the net price minus the 15% of agency commission. To understand, to judge between the media that you want to buy, to understand which media is more efficient. I mean, it reached the same amount of GRPs with less cost. You use these metrics, the cost divided the GRPs, the cost per GRPs. And so you can compare different vehicles, different media using these metrics. So you divide the cost by the GRPs, and you have the cost per GRPs. Let's talk about digital metrics, online key media metrics. So we have just talked about impression, contact, reach, frequency, GRPs, and now what happens when we plan online advertising? Remember that the logic is still the same. You need to reach the target. You need to repeat the message so that the message is remembered, to create awareness. Simple as that, even online. But when we plan online, we need to make other considerations. For example, impressions. In this case, we have an impressions when hopefully a people is potentially exposed to our ad or sponsored link on a web page. So we count an impression when a web page is uploaded by a browser. So there is no people. So you have an impression when a web page is uploaded by a browser and your ad appear. Nobody say that there is a person behind the screen. Nobody say that the message is really seen by that person. In fact, when do we consider an ad seen? Now, there is a concept that is called viewability. And you cannot hear. Okay. Can you hear the video?
No.
You cannot hear it. Okay. Okay, I skipped the video. Anyway, the concept is this one. In internet, it's almost impossible that people watch the full space of your ad, 100% pixels, because sometimes your ad appears below the folder, or the web page is uploading and your target has already gone to another page. So the target group didn't see the ad. In fact, the Internet Advertising Bureau defined a viewable impression for display ads, the typical ads online on the websites, as the one that is visible for at least 50% of the pixels and at least 1 second. It means that your ad is considered seen if people watch half the ad. And for desktop video, half the space for at least 2 seconds. And for large display, like this one, for example, only 30% of the pixels are sufficient to be considered an ad seen, so a viewable impression. So you see, if you buy an advertisement on a newspaper, you go to the newsstand, you open the newspaper, you watch the entire ad. The same ad with a display online could be seen for 50%. So it's not the same thing. Don't think that if you buy an impression online, people watch the whole advertisement. So this is the first concept, viewability. And reasons for non-viewabilities are many. So especially when the ads are below the folder, you open a website and the ads is below the folder, and you go to a page and the browser didn't upload the advertising. So remember, this is the first concept, viewability. I will publish the video online, so on my website. Now, another concepts are visitors. What are visitors? Visitors refers to the total number of internet users who arrive at the website. Some of these may have visited the site more than once during a specific length of time. So we define unique visitors or unique audience, the one who visit the website counting each person, or better, each device, only once during the reporting period of time. Okay, so Stella Romagnoli with the iPhone go on a website and I go there 10 times, I am unique visitors, 1 unique visitors per day, for example. Online, we also consider a very important metric, time per person. So it is very important to consider the time that people spend on a website, depending, of course, on the kind of website. Available data on the internet depends on media surveys. And in Italy, we have audioweb.it. If you're curious to know some data, you can sign in for free And you can download recent data. They publish monthly data regarding the internet, so the unique audience and other interesting data. They publish the unique audience, the unique visitors, the total digital audience, the visitors, we could say the gross impressions, and the total page views and the time per person. And you can download these Excel files, and one of the pages include the estimate of the audiences regarding all the websites in Italy that agreed to be monitored. And so you have, for example, the media seller, which is the custom property. If you want to buy, for example, advertising on front page, you have to go to Ciao People Advertising. So this is the sale house, the editor, the publisher, the media vehicles, which is the website, and then they provide you the unique visitors, the unique audience per day. So counting one day, one device. So, and you see millions of people, for example, front page has almost 1 million people per day, unique visitors. The total page views per day, and the time spent per day, and also the same data for monthly basis. But it's impressions, okay, they are important to know how they are measured and the viewability concept, but the main features of the internet is interactivity. And so other metrics are very important. The first one are the clicks, when people click on your ad, and it shows that this person is interested. And so we can measure this metric is the click-through rate, CTR. It means click-through rate. It's a ratio. When you see ratio, they are percentages, and always you have to multiply times 100, always. And click-through rate is the ratio between clicks, the number of clicks, people clicks, and the impressions or the views, okay? So how many people click, let's say person clicks on the ad compared to the number of the views, the impressions the ad got, times 100. So let's make an example. Let's say that my ad got 1 million impressions and 5,000 clicks. What's the click-through rate? So how do we calculate? Clicks divided by the impression. So 5 divided by 1,000 times 100. Do you have the number? Use the calculator. 0.5, exactly. 0.5%. Remember, these are rates. You express click-through rates as a percentages. Okay, so it's 0.5%. Clicks divided by the impressions times 100. Okay, another example. My ad got 100,000 impressions and 1,000 clicks. What's the click-through rate? Use a phone, so 1,000 divided 100,000 times 100, and we have and we have 1%. Okay, very well, very well. Now another rates, lots of rates with online engagement rates. I have already talked about engagement rates when talking about influencers. Remember, it's very important when you choose the right influencer that he or she has a high engagement rate. How do you calculate the engagement rate? You sum all the comments, all the likes, all the engagements, and you divide them by the impressions or the views. Impressions or views are synonyms in this case, times 100. Okay, so you sum all the comments, all the likes, all the thumbs up, all the signs that people reacted to the post. You measure engagement rate on social media, and you divide by the views or the impressions times 100. This is an example of a calculation of engagement rate of another that we did with the International Advertising Association. I'm not an influencer. So my post got 4,900 views and 105 likes and 4 comments. So we sum comments like likes, and so 105 plus 4, 109 divided the number of views times 100. And so my post got 2.80% as engagement rate. The higher the engagement rate, the better. If everyone comments and say and likes or do something with the post, the better. So let's make another example. Let's say that we post something, we got 10,000 views, 20 comments, and 80 likes. What's the engagement rate? So we sum the comments and the likes, so it's 100. One percent. Remember, 1%. Don't forget the percentage. Okay, it's not 1, it's 1%. But yes, it's 1%. So 20 plus 80, 100 divided by the views, 10,000, and times 100. Otherwise, it's 0.01. Okay. Another rate. This is very important because the conversion rates tell us if people did something that we wanted them to do. So the conversion rate is the ratio between the actions that we want. Maybe they purchase something on our e-commerce store, or they left us the email address, or anything that we want. So the actions divided by the visitors. Who are the visitors in this case? Are the people who have clicked the ads. So in this case, we calculate the conversion rate, actions divided by the number of clicks that my ad had. Because people click the ad, come to my website, buy an item. Okay, so the visitors are the people who have clicked my ad times 100, because it's a rate. Remember, always you have to times 100 because you need to calculate the percentage. Let's make an experiment. Now, let's say that I post an ad and I got 1 million impressions. And of the people who saw the ad, 1 million people saw the ad, 100,000 clicks, very impactful ad, click the ad, and so they become visitors. They come to my website, and I sell 100 products. Okay, I sell 100 pairs of eyeglasses. Now, what's the conversion rate? So remember, the conversion rate are the actions, so the products that I sold, divided by the visitors, who are the people who have clicked the ad. Okay, so is 100 divided by 100,000 times 100 is 0.1%. We can calculate also the click-through rate. It means the people who have clicked divided by the impressions times 100. Okay, very easy. Now let's make another example. My ad got 5,000 clicks. So visitors who came to my website, and 500 bought the product. What's the conversion rate? What do? 500 divided by the click times 100. High. This is a very high conversion rate, and it's 10%. Okay? Is everything clear? Very well. Remember, any rate is expressed as a percentage. Now, let's finish this section on talking about how do we buy media online. So we buy in different ways. We could buy media advertising online by impressions, and we buy impressions by thousands. Every 1,000 impression, you pay a price, and this model is called CPM. M stands for 1,000 in Latin, okay? It's worldwide. It's not cost per million. It's cost per 1,000. Every 1,000 impression, I pay the price. CPM, cost per 1,000 impression. Remember signs, right? Take notes. Then we can buy by click. We pay per click. Every click we buy a price. Of course, the CPC is a higher price. And every click I pay, for example, 2 euro, 1 euro. Okay. This model is called CPC. Every click I pay. And then cost per action, every action I pay, or cost per view, every view I pay. So CPC, CPA, CPV, or there are many of these. You pay per each action, each click, each action, each view, while you pay by thousands the impressions. Okay, remember, when you see impressions, you pay impressions by thousands with CPM. So let's make an example. I buy 1 million impressions with CPM of 5 euro. The first thing that I need to know is how many thousands there are in 1 million. So I have to divide 1 million by thousands. Oh, there are 1,000 thousands. So every 1,000 we pay 5 euro. So the price of this plan is 5,000 euro. Is that clear? Because this is a mistake that is easily done. Every 1,000 you pay CPM, not every impression. Another example with CPC. CPC is easy. Every click I pay. So if I want to buy 1,000 clicks and my CPC is 8 euro, I spend 8,000 euro. 8 times 1,000. Okay. Every click I pay is 8 euro. CPC, every action I pay the price, the CPC price. Now, let's say that I want to buy 200,000 impressions for my digital advertising campaign, and I pay 8 euro at CPM, which is the cost of my media plan. 1,600. Is that clear for all? First of all, I divided the 200,000 by 1,000 to understand how many bags of 1,000 do I have to pay? 200. And then I multiply 200 times the price, which is 8. So this is the result. Remember, you buy the impressions by thousands, like there are bags of thousands of impressions. Every bag contains 1,000, and you pay for this bag, not for each impression. Now, I want to buy 200,000 clicks for my Google search campaign, and I pay 2 euro CPC. Which is the price? CPC, 2 euro. Come on, shout. 400,000. Is that clear for all? We don't have to divide by 1,000 here. We pay every click. Okay.